Okay, it's actually Saturday. Having a game a day early. Okay, so this one's a 3,000 point game. It's against Size new High Elves against my Dark Elves. I've got a few extra models off of eBay, so it's actually unproxied, which is quite nice. Well, apart from my homemade Cauldron of Blood, but I think I might keep that actually. I quite like it. Anyway, so 3,000 points. It's what was it called? Is it meeting and go? Dawn Attack. Yeah, so we've got the Dawn Attack mission. I won the roll, so I had to deploy first. And as you can see, my deployment was a little bit messed up. And I'm sure someone must have cheated or something, because he had the most perfect deployment you've ever seen. Probably better than his normal deployment when he could actually choose where to go. So he came off pretty lightly there, I reckon.
Yeah, next time, every time we play now, I think I'm just going to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, he left it up to the winds of fate and it paid off. So, right, so this is what I've got. I've got 10 crossbowmen, the Cauldron of Blood, who's also the BSB, which luckily is, well, not quite within 12, but well, it might be within 12, but it's in range of the Cold War Knights, which is handy. 10 more crossbowmen, 24 spearmen with the level 4, who's also my general, 10 Cold War Knights, 20 Blackguard, 10 crossbowmen, 10 Shades, 30 Corsairs, Hydra, 6 Witch Elves, another 6 Witch Elves, another Hydra, and level 2 on a Pegasus. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, and sorry, the general's got is level 4 with Law of Metal, so I'll give it a try. Still reluctant to push Shadow, although the side destroys me in this game, I'll probably be rolling up Shadow next time. And also my level 2 has the Tome of Furion, so she's got an extra spell, and she's got the Law of Dark Magic, so I'll give that a go on a flying mount, because one of the problems I found with the level 4 with metal is I was also out of range of, sorry, Dark Magic, I was out of range on the first time, which is kind of when you need those zappy spells, so thought I'd give it a try on a Pegasus, and plus the model looks really good, so. And that's it. So I'll hand you over to Si, see what he's got.
Okay, so in my 3,000 point high elf army, we'll go from left to right. Like Ollie says, I got pretty lucky with my deployment. I have a unit of 20 Phoenix Guard. The Phoenix Guard are actually old school Dark Elves from back in the day. These were some of my first models that I used to play against my friends High Elves with. A long time ago. Still have them, and yeah, they make pretty good proxied models for the time being until I can get the proper ones. And certainly Ollie is welcome to them if the new book comes out and he can take a unit of 40 of them. Actually, maybe not. I think I might melt. I think I'll melt them down into an ingot and then batter him over the head with it. But yeah. They're pretty good, and then also in there is a level 2 High Elf Mage with the Law of High Magic. Then behind them I have a unit of 21 Archers. Then I have a unit of 28 White Lions of Crace. Then I have 5 Reavers that I've armed with bows. Then I have Techless in a bunker unit of 19 Spearmen. I then have 10 Dragon Princes of Kalador with all the trimmings, and a High Elf Lord BSB on a Barded Steed. I have another 21 Archers sat on a hill, and then I have 2 White Lion Chariots, and then finally another unit of Reavers. Then we rolled to see whether I could steal the initiative, and I failed to steal it. So we will see you at the end of Dark Elves turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Dark Elves turn 1. I tried to kind of correct the rather dodgy deployment by moving my bunker up, my cauldron to the side, just to get in range of the rest of the units. My crossbows moved into the building, these ones moved up. as did those. Shades stay where they are. They look at slightly different facing. That's just because the piece of terrain actually got the same facing as the Corsairs, so they didn't actually move, other than falling over. The Hydra's moved up aggressively. The Witches just moved into the building just to get out of the way of the Hydra. And the Black Guard just moved up a little bit. That's pretty much it. Then the magic phase, I rolled 9 dice, no channels either side. Then from my first spell, rather foolishly, instead of casting Power of Darkness like I normally do, I actually cast Final Transmutation on the boosted up version at his white lines. I had a hunch that they had the Banner of the World Dragon. I was obviously bitten on the arse by that last time. So I thought Final Transmutation would be a pretty good target for that, because obviously that doesn't affect it. So I just cast on them because they were the biggest unit I could see. So obviously I had the most chance of killing them. So initially I rolled quite high, but then I stabbed a dude and got a miscast, which is not always a good thing. Hoping that Sai was going to dispel it, so I didn't actually want the miscast. But obviously he couldn't, so I got it off. I killed 8 white lions. And then with the miscast I got off really lightly and only rolled a 7. So I lost 3 guys in base contact with my sorceress, and obviously the one from the stabbing with the sacrificial dagger. So I lost 4 guys and killed 8 white lions. That wasn't too bad. And as a consequence, all these units around that unit are now going to have to make a stupidity test. So it worked out pretty well actually. But unfortunately I did lose all the rest of my power dice, so I was unable to cast anything else. So it was a bit of a shame I didn't actually cast that Power of Darkness. Maybe I would have had a few extra, but it was worth it. So, and that was it for magic. Then the shooting phase. These guys fired at the Reavers, hit loads, wounded 2, and so I made 2 6-up saves. Then these guys shot at them, did the same, did 2 wounds, and then so I failed those 2 6-up saves, so they died. These guys shot the Dragon Princes, managed to cap 1. Then the Shade shot the Dragon Princes, managed to cap 1. Then we remembered Sai has a 6-up ward save for them, so we took those and saved one of them, so he actually lost 1. So that's pretty nice. A 6-up save already paying for itself, so that's nice, isn't it? And that was it. So that was the end of my... Oh, sorry, and I forgot my level 2 just flew up here out of the line of sight of the Reavers. I'm not sure what she's going to do, but gives me something to do outside of getting shot at. So that's the end of my turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of High Elves turn 1. Basically, I moved everyone other than the archers forward. Moving around, trying to block off the advance of the Hydras over there. And yeah, the magic phase was a pretty poor roll. I rolled a 5 and a 1. When you roll a 1 for a magic phase, when your opponent also has an item that gives him +1 dispel dice every turn, yeah, it's bad times. So in the end, I made the most of it by casting Hand of Glory, which he let through, and then I used the beefed up version and promptly rolled a 3, so they've now got +3 ballistic skill, weapon skill, and initiative and movement, which is the key thing. And I get that so next movement phase, so which is awesome. Then Ollie basically dispelled everything else I tried to cast, so there was no real point, as he had superior dice advantage. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Then with the shooting, I really rolled miserably. I rolled awesome rolls to hit, and then pathetic rolls to wound on those guys. Killed 2. And then much the same with these guys against the crossbowmen over there. I rolled awesome rolls to hit and pathetic rolls to wound, but I on average got like 4 dead, so that was alright. And yeah, that was about it. So it's now on to Dark Elves turn 2.
yeah, it's the end of Dark Elves turn 2, and things started off pretty well by passing a stupidity test, which was always nice. I gave the Corsairs Killing Blow, then declared some charges. So I declared the charges with the Corsairs into the Dragon Princes, who wisely elected to flee. 50 Killing Blow attacks with rerolls to hit. They certainly weren't up for that, so they booked it. So he fled, and then I redirected into his chariot. So he held. Obviously, if it fled, it probably would have went off the board. So they charged into that. These guys charged into Reavers. Reavers got stand and shoot, managed to kill one of the Beastmasters. And this one failed to charge against the other chariot. My level 2 moved up. Witch Elves moved out of the building. These ones moved over here. These guys, the Shades stayed where they were, as did all the crossbowmen. The bunker didn't move, the cauldron just moved behind the building a bit more. Then in the magic phase, I rolled an 8, no channels either side, 4 each. Sorry, 8 to me, 4 to Sai. Managed to cast Enchanted Blades of Avon on the Shades. Then I cast Final Transmutation, so I scrolled it with Teclis's Scroll, not blowing it up though. Then I cast Power of Darkness on my level 2, so I dispelled it. And then I attempted to cast Chill Wind, and so I dispelled that as well. So that was the end of the magic. And then the shooting phase, these guys fired at the White Lions, don't think they killed any. Then these guys killed, I think, 5 of them. Some ridiculous amount, wasn't it?
Yeah, they got like six
or 5
wounds and killed 5.
Yeah, so they did really well. These guys killed a Reaver, and the Reavers fled. Then the Shade shot the Dragon Princes, killed 3 of them. So that's pretty nice. Just shooting them in the back is definitely the Dark Elf way, so it couldn't be any fluffier if it tried. Then the close combat phase, the Hydra ate the Reavers and just reformed a little bit, and then the Corsairs showed just how much they were worth and absolutely fluffed all their attacks, managing to do no wounds to the Chariot. Chariot managed to kill 1 of them. Unfortunately, the Chariot still broke, and they fled. So, and it actually fled off the board, just slightly popping through the archers, and was just a little tiny bit off the board, which unfortunately was enough. So Sizer, White Lion, Chariot down, and that's pretty much it. There's 1 dispel scroll down. By the sound of it, he's got another one. so there won't be much meaningful magic in the next turn either, I doubt. Found that his level 5 is certainly good for dispelling level 2 spells, so she's pretty much going to be useless, I reckon. And that was it. So it's the end of my turn 2. Certainly an eventful game.
Okay, it's the end of High Elves turn 2, and everyone surged around. Archers moved forwards. These archers moved to block off the advance of the Corsairs. I charged my Lion Chariot into the Witch Dart, and these guys reformed, as did the Fast Cav, who moved right up to get into their grill. Then in the magic phase, I rolled a 5 and a 1 again, and annoyingly, Ollie also got a channel, which meant he had 1 more dice than me. So I stuck 6 dice into a fiery convocation, not conversation.
And fiery conversation afterwards.
And he ended up managing to kill, even though I rolled reasonably badly, 14 guys, because then Ollie rolled terribly on his armor saves. So I did really well with that, and that remains in play. So that happens next magic phase, at the end of the next magic phase as well, if he doesn't dispel it. So with my last dice, I then used Teclis. Oh no, I didn't. I used the High Mage again to cast Hand of Glory on this unit. Rolled an 8 in total. It was +1 to cast. And then Ollie, unfortunately, only rolled a 7 to dispel with his last dice, and I got it off. So I managed to give them +2 to their initiative. That's pretty nice. And that was basically it. Well, other than shooting, where I managed to kill another 2 Dark Elf Repeater crossbowmen. And that was it. So it's now on to Dark Elves turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of Dark Elves turn 3. Charge wise, I charged the Corsairs into the Archers. Then the Cold Ones once again passed their stupidity, as I don't need them at the moment. And then both the Hydras moved round, the Shades moved round a bit, revealed they had an assassin in there, just to get a bit more shooting at the Sword Masters. He's got the Rending Stars and the Manbane Poison. These guys stay where they were. This gave the Corsairs a 5-up ward, reasoning that I was going to just ride it out rather than dispelling it, because the unit's pretty much done for, and save my dice for actual magic. And yeah, that was all the movement. Then actually in the magic phase, didn't go so well. Managed to... don't think I cast anything. So did I cast anything?
No, I spelled it
all. Alright, yeah, he scrolled a final transmutation on these guys. Then he just spelled a... oh, sorry, he started off by dispelling my Power of Darkness. Scrolled a Final Transmutation, then also scrolled a Black Horror, or... yeah, I think it was Black Horror. No, sorry, the other one, that Soul Leech, or something like that, Soul Stealer, on the Knight, so he dispelled that as well. So yeah, so I had no dice left. So it's the end of the magic. It's quite hard to get past a level 5 and 2 dispel scrolls. That's pretty nasty, even with the sacrificial dagger. So that was that for that. Then in the shooting phase, that went much better. The Shades shot into the Sword Masters. I think they killed 4 or 5 of them. Then the Assassin managed to cap a couple as well. And then between the crossbows, they whittled them down to just 6 now. These guys shot the Phoenix Guard, managed to kill 1 of them, and that was it for shooting. And then in close combat, he killed 5 Corsairs. Obviously they lost, I think it was, I think 6 guys to the Fiery Convocation, because it's obviously still on them. Then we fought, he went first, killed another 5. Then in return I killed 7. So I won the combat, but he held because he's steadfast. And that was it. So that was the end of close combat and the end of Dark Elves turn 3. So I have to see what happens in High Elves turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of High Elf turn 3. The Phoenix Guards moved up. The Reavers charged into the Cold Ones. The remaining few White Lions charged at the Shades, but lost half their number to stand and shoot, including the Assassin, which was pretty deadly. Yeah, who'd have thought Assassins doing bicep curls would pay off, man. Dirty. Then what else happened? Oh yeah, on the positive side though, my Dragon Princes charged at the Hydras, who both scarkered. So unfortunately they moved forward only 6, but yeah, that was pretty nice. This just reformed, ready to try and get a charge off should they need it. That was about it for the movement. Then in the magic phase, Teclis decided that it was time he actually did something. He first cast, having rolled a 7 and then got a channel. He used 2 to get Throne of Vines off, which Ollie let through. Then I cast Occam's Mind Razor with 6 dice, miscast, and then rolled a 3, thus ignoring it. So the Phoenix Guard are now Strength 9, which is rather nice. Then what else was there?
Spelled the Convocation.
Oh yeah, and then Ollie, who then had nothing else to do with his 6 dice, dispelled Fiery Convocation, which turned out to be a brilliant move, as I managed to inflict a vast number of casualties on him, and I think I got like 7 wounds, and Ollie saved the lot, on a 5-up. He skilled a lot. And then in turn killed 4 of my guys and won the combat, which was frankly average for what Ollie does. That was basically that was the turn. So things are looking a little brighter on account that there's not going to be too many guys that are going to want to charge 20 Phoenix Guard with Occam's Mind Razor on, which is quite nice. So that is the end of High Elves turn 3.
Okay, so it's the end of Dark Elves turn 4, and in the most incredible turn of luck you've ever seen, and well, Si's used to it, but anyone else has never seen the likes. Unfortunately, even convinced myself that I'm cheating. Just my dice have been on fire this last time. I should point out that me and Si used the same pair of dice. As far as I know, there's nothing fishy with them, but I'm starting to wonder. Okay, so this turn, I obviously didn't want to charge the Phoenix card because they were pretty nasty with the Occams on. So there was no charges actually. So the tried to rally the crossbowmen, they failed, ran off board. This Hydra failed to rally, carried on running. This one rallied. The Witch Dart moved up after a swift reform. These guys moved into the forest. These guys just stayed where they were. These guys stayed where they were. The lone crossbowmen just moved around here to conserve points. Shays moved up to shoot at the Dragon Princes. And the Corsairs obviously still in combat there. The magic phase, I attempted a final transmutation on the Phoenix card, which got irresistible force, and killed I think 8 of them. Got miscast, but and lost 3 levels, including transmutation. So I've only got Searing Doom left on her now. And then in the then side dispelled pretty much everything else, so that was it. Obviously, with only a level 1 and a level 2, there's no contest against his level 5. So, then in the shooting phase, that's when it all happened. Basically, this unit fired into the Phoenix Guard and killed something like, and there was 13 left, wasn't there? So I killed 8.
Yeah.
Killed 8 guys with repeat crossbows.
Yeah.
And that's 8 Phoenix Guard.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
And
then I fired the Shades into the Dragon Princes and killed 3 of them as well.
Yeah. Well, basically, you've shot the Dragon Princes 3 times and you've killed 7 of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just sickening.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, isn't it?
I've rolled.
But between these 2 units, I've pretty much killed most of his army, to be honest. Other than that, and final transmutation.
Yeah.
Obviously, my combat blocks have done relatively little. Apart from the Corsairs, who managed to kill some archers. Oh, that reminds me, actually, we went into this combat.
Oh, man.
He hit me loads, wounded me a few times, made all my saves, then attacked him back and killed something like 5 or 6.
Hey, you got more than that.
Yeah, I killed a lot of them.
You got 8, you got, what was it, 8 wounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. 8
wounds, yeah.
4 guys.
And there was only I think 9 left or something.
9 left.
Yeah. So so these guys who should have died ages ago with that fiery convocation on, actually ended up killing the archers.
Yeah, I'd point out that if it wasn't for the fact I wasn't using the same dice, I'd be swearing.
Yeah, well, this is why basically I have to let Si use my dice because he's convinced I cheat. Even I'm starting to doubt it.
Because I mean, you've made.
I'm really sorry.
What was it? In 2 combat turns, you made
Well, those Corsairs have done ridiculous things, haven't they?
12 5-up armour saves.
Yeah. Admittedly, they had a double save. They had a ward save as well for the first couple. But that one was just blind luck.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still made 12 5-up armour saves.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately, Si can't make 4-up ward saves.
Oh, man,
So
that was,
So at this point, Si's decided to concede. I don't think you can really claw it back after that.
I got.
Especially as I have 3 things that are big threats to him without really anything to fight with. There's just not a lot left really. I think that round of luck has just demoralised him so much that he can't carry on.
Well, it's not even demoralisation. There's just nothing left.
No, he's been shot up pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, there's just nothing left.
Yeah. So it's a shame it had to end like that. But I mean, sometimes you just get really lucky. Unfortunately,
your sometimes is 99% of the time.
Si's bad luck, my good luck, and there's just no meeting in between.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be Swedish comping my list next time just to give Si a fighting chance. I'll be taking I don't know. I won't be taking Dark Elves because there's nothing in there that's balanced. Like I say, I don't really think it's necessarily Dark Elves are overpowered.
Not in any way.
But when you're lucky with them, then I suppose anything's overpowered in that respect. But I think High Elves are always going to suffer from shooting, especially that volume of shooting, because obviously most of the time they're only 5 up armour with 3 toughness 3, and of course I've got armour piercing, so.
Yeah, but that's kind of the trouble where you look at it over there.
Yeah.
With that, you're going to get 10 hits, you get 5 wounds.
Well, that was the worst thing, isn't it? Because the White Lions had a 3 up against me.
No,
or 4 up, yeah.
Your armour piercing.
Yeah.
And they just died.
But I was just shooting them up. I mean, in fact, the 3 crossbow units and the shades pretty much did everything for me.
Yeah.
The assassin killed a few, but.
Yeah, I think those units basically with it. It's like that. It was like the game with the Orcs and Goblins game where your chaff won it for you.
Yeah. If you look back in our archives, there's actually a game where I don't think either of my Black Orcs or my Savages actually took part in the game. 3,000 point game against ogres,
yeah.
And I pretty much destroyed him with chaff and some night goblins.
I think it was 8 or 10 squig hoppers destroyed half my army.
Oh yeah, that was a separate game, wasn't it? Yeah. Where they killed the Mournfang, then almost killed your general as well, and nearly broke his unit. Or they delayed him for a turn, didn't they? The whole unit.
Yeah.
But
well, that was a crazy game.
Yeah, I will admit that I'm lucky on more than one occasion. Well, overall, it was a fun game. I mean, I was enjoying it anyway. I mean, I like being lucky sometimes, but when you have a whole turn of luck and your opponent gets to witness it and then gets demoralised and decides he can't carry on, you feel quite bad. So I do feel bad. I always feel bad when I roll high, to be honest. I've always been a bit lucky, but I do feel bad when it's particularly against Si, because he's the one who has to endure it every week. So I wish I could mitigate it somehow. I will certainly try to with maybe the Swedish comp based list. Just take a really horrible list and then hopefully my luck will balance it out. And then Si can take an overpowered list and his bad luck will balance that out. Then we might have a decent game going. So something to take I think 0's the best, the dirtiest list, and 20's the worst. So we'll have to do that. You'll have to take a 0 list and I'll take a 20. Just to see if that makes any difference. As far as the Dark Elves go, I'm really enjoying playing them. Obviously the missile fire is just... I think between those 4 units, they're better than my entire Wood Elf army put together. They're just really good. But like I say, I think it's mainly down to luck, and the squishy nature of other elves is obviously a problem. But yeah, really enjoyed the game. But like I say, there wasn't any meaningful combats really. I mean, although my favourite thing that happened really was the Corsairs. Just they're charging into the chariot, kind of failing that, and then the chariot running off anyway. Then having that fiery convocation, then I wrote them off and said, they're going to die, I want to just do as much damage as I can. Then the way the magic phases worked out, so I thought I might as well dispel that. And then they ended up killing the archers anyway, with just 4 of them. So they've done amazing this game.
The archers should have done. The archers, in theory, would have died easily. But
yeah,
I mean, after the fiery convocation, I thought, yes, I've got it.
Yeah, I totally thought they were going to die. I was hoping to kill as many as I could, but I wasn't actually expecting to wipe you out. But that was, like I say, a lot of 5-up saves made. So they did really well, but they're only an honourable mention because my man of the match really is the Shades, who just performed. They were killing dragon princes, white lions. They were just all over the place, and assassin did alright. It was quite a nice little threat in there, although he didn't survive as long. He's only got range 12 on those rending stars, so that's why I didn't reveal him earlier. But yeah, the shades did amazing, and the crossbowmen did pretty damn good as well, and everything else didn't really do a lot. Don't really like casting final transmutation every turn, but when you're facing things with big ward saves, then it's a good answer to it. I believe the White Lines had the World Dragon banner.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good answer to that.
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily why I took it. I took it for the buff spells, but as it turns out, I didn't actually roll them because I was planning to cast like the Plague of Rust on these guys to allow their armour saves, which obviously helped with the armour piercing on these guys, on the shades and that. But of course I didn't roll it for the spells, and I didn't get the +2 natural armour thing as well, so I didn't have that either. So I just thought I might as well just cast Final Transmutation, which has a good range on it and quite a cheap cost, and didn't kill that many, not as many as these crossbowmen did. So yeah, the magic was pretty uneventful. Like I say, the level 2 was useless because against Techless, there's just no point casting anything with her. It's just a waste of dice. So, but yeah, so level 2 is definitely the duffer of the match. Didn't really do anything at all. Just flew around. He didn't even bother shooting out. I think he wanted to at one point and just thought better of it.
Well, I was thinking if I could get away with positioning so that I could shoot.
Yeah.
But
well, my main goal was to just cast Soul Stealer with her on the Dragon Princes because it doesn't allow an armour save, and it's only strength 2, but they're only toughness 3. So I was hoping to kill a few of those and give her like 6 wounds, and then just charge her into something and hold them up, because she does have the pendant of Kaleth, so she's pretty tasty and well, just surviving at least. Yeah, so they were, which starts obviously suffered from bad positioning and just got in the way really. Although they did manage to wound the chariot, so I can't really rule on those yet. Do like the idea of them though; they're pretty cheap. Hydras didn't really do a lot of this game. I didn't really fancy fighting his Dragon Princes, as he revealed he had the Flaming Banner, and there was just no point, because if I hadn't flowed with that one, he would have charged into that, killed it, and then just overrun into the other one and just taken that off as well, and then it'd be in my flank. So it was just better to flee and just not fight them at all. Let the shades do their work. So obviously the cold ones suffered from bad positioning. Just they just kept them there. There's no point moving them out. Not with all this stuff over there. Yeah, Bunker did its job. Cauldron did well, given though 5-up wards to the Corsairs kept them alive long enough, and the killing blow was certainly a big enough threat to make him flee his Dragon Princes early in the game, which was excellent.
Yeah. Bought
me the time I needed to shoot them up. So that was nice. Yeah, and the crossbowmen just performed really well. They killing guys, and so it was a really good game. Yeah, so I like the list. Obviously it's 3,000, it's pretty much everything I've got anyway. So I'm not going to discuss the list really. It's just what I've got. So, but certainly a good list. Quite like the Law of Metals. Just a shame I didn't roll the 2 spells that I was really hankering to get. Obviously Syrian Doom and that, I think it's Genna's Golden Hounds, and that is obviously useless against Dragon Princes because they have a 2-up ward. So the 2-up to wound with no armor saves doesn't really matter because they have a 2-up ward. So I didn't even bother casting those, the Syrian Doom at least. Yeah, so I'll probably try Law of Metal again. Might revise the level 2, just flying around, there wasn't much use in that. Yeah, so that's it. So I'll hand you over to Si, see what he thinks of the game. Though we have an inkling.
Yeah, well, it was a good game up until Ollie's last turn. Then things just got really stupid with luck. But yeah, it was tough initially. The nature of the deployment meant that my 2 best units were far over on the right flank, while Ollie managed to have one of his good combat units actually in the middle, which I really could have done with. I did get the Dragon Princes, but the trouble was that for them I felt to be of any use. I had to sort of keep them with the other guys for support. I just really do not like that Dawn Raid thing. It's a bit of a stupid mission.
I don't either.
because it just, it ruins your deployment and it just makes everything.
Especially in such a big game. If you've got like a smaller game with like 2 horses, it's just like bad luck. But when you've got all that and you're relying on this kind of like supporting each other, and like half your stuff's over here, it's like...
Yeah, it buggered things up. But at the end of the day, I started to pull it back. I had the Phoenix Guard where I wanted them, but what kind of was my biggest annoyance was the fact that Ollie had both buildings and had the option of being able to put. Yeah, it was. It was a bit of a dodgy last turn. Like I say, I would have sworn Ollie was cheating if I wasn't using his dice and failing vast numbers of armour saves with them. It was just a combination of my really bad luck with Ollie's really good luck, and the last turn was just hideous. Because like I say, I think I had a pretty good chance coming into my turn 4. I would have had an over half strength unit of Phoenix Guard to hammer in. I would have actually sent them against the cold ones. The plan being that I would have gone in against the cold ones. Occam's Mind Razored them because I still had Throne of Vines up, so I could have just thrown 6, hope for a miscast. Obviously these guys, assuming I hadn't lost nearly the whole unit, I would have gone in, butchered the shades, because I would have, I've been sporting a lot of strength 5 hits with re-rolls. So, I had a pretty good chance of wiping the shades out and then overrunning and threatening these guys here, the Black Guard. I was kind of hoping that over here would have gone better, so that I could have shot the Witch Dart up and stopped them from being a hassle. And then the chariot was essentially going to declare a charge on that fleeing guy and try and hassle it off the board. It was that was a little disappointing, but I think there was a good chance for win, because obviously if I'd got through the cold ones, then I would have been into the sorceress's unit, and then that would have been kind of mop up time. But alas, it wasn't to be. I think like I said, the deployment type was just terrible. The 2 best units here, I really felt I had to put the Dragon Princes sort of around here to support the other 2 units, which meant that I could essentially let Ollie swing his entire flank around to catch me, and that was where I really suffered, because I couldn't nullify the Hydras in time, and it meant that like Killing Blow on these guys would have made an absolute terrible mess of the Dragon Princes.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
It was just kind of a bit untenable. I think had I played with like a proper defensive line with everything set out, I think I would have been able to marshal my forces a bit better. My inability to really harm his missile troops with my own, I got really unlucky with shooting in the first couple of turns, because really Ollie's shooting should never have been that good, because I just couldn't finish off his missile troops. I just couldn't do anything to them. I mean, there's no real point shooting at shades, but I should have been taking the shades out in close combat and dealing with the others just with the shooting. I think maybe if I'd thought about it, I would have got Teclis's unit in quicker and actually used them to try and kill the repeater crossbowmen, because there was enough guys there that I could have done that. It was a bit of a shame. I think Ollie and I were discussing with Teclis. He's not the number of spells he's got are exceptionally good. A +5 to cast, with being able to choose the spells. I mean, Occam's Mind Razor and Throne of Vines is a combination that Shadow Magic users have been dreaming about since the dawn of time. And yeah, I can finally use it, and it's bloody awesome when I get enough dice to get it off. So yeah, that's definitely something good. But I think what Ollie and I were discussing is that it then kind of makes the having a level 2 a bit moot, because you want to be getting the most out of tech lists for the casting, but at the same time you just don't have the power dice to support it. You don't have that banner of sorcery anymore that gave you the extra casting, so you were always going to get a 12. You always guarantee like having at least like a 10 plus magic phase, which had I had that, yeah, I mean things might have been different. I mean the spells have been whirring around all over the place, and it would have been great. But no, I think they kind of balanced that out. Teclis was made powerful. I'd argue his spellcasting has probably got better. Admittedly, he doesn't have the dirty book of Hoeth that allowed him to miscast like a bitch. Yeah. But I think he's still really good. But I think I might give. I think next time I'm going to give Alariel a go. I really like the idea of being able to choose from the Law of Life, the Law of Light, and the Law of High Magic, and just having that, and then having the banner with one of the handmaidens that gives you +4 to cast. So then
that's only from Light and Life, isn't it?
yes, yeah. But I mean, giving her as a life wizard would be awesome, because then you see. I think you can then justify having another mage, because then
I suppose you could just obviously the risk of 1 or 2, so you wouldn't be 1 dicing, but 2 dicing pretty much anything.
Yeah, and I think then you've kind of got that ability to get a lot of spells off. So then if I took the Lawmaster with the Book of Hoeth, then all of a sudden you can have very minimal kind of power dice usage for like maximum spells cast, and you also have still a large number of spells to go with. I'd just be tempted to take Law of Life for everything. There's pretty much everything in the law of, and I get. And I still get all the great and very useful spells from the Lawmaster. So
I think as soon as you start doing Flesh to Stone and Regrowth as well on White Lions,
yeah,
they're just really amazing. Aren't they?
That's it. Yeah, I really like the idea of that, because being able to heal back the units and make them hard to kill is what's gonna save my arse. Because as we've seen from this game, elves are very squishy. And a little bit of luck either way, and all of a sudden you've lost a lot of the unit. I mean, those White Lions pretty much took it, mainly based on shooting.
I pretty much threw everything I had at them.
And it paid off, because you wiped it out. And in theory, I had the same number of missile troops. I had 42 missile troops, and you had 40.
Yeah.
So just a volume of fire just did me, because you had
I was putting out like 80 shots a time.
Yeah, you essentially had double my number of shots.
Because whereas your missile troops could just shoot mine up, I was just shooting your combat units.
Yeah, I mean which is kind of also why it was tough to want to. I don't know. I think dealing with those missile troops, certainly in a Dark Elf army, is a big priority, and I've got nothing really that can, as it stands, that can kind of go at it. I think maybe I've been looking at those Lothan Sky Chariot things. They're great, potentially 20-inch march move.
They can't march with a chariot.
Well, they're flying.
Yeah, you still can't march with the chariot. You can still only move 10. There's still a chariot.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
Yeah.
yeah, very good point. But you know, like a chariot that could also taunt a bolt thrower on it as well.
Although what they can do
very
that
cheap.
other chariots can't is charge over things.
Yes.
So that makes it's kind of like that hover for the thingy.
Yeah, that's a very good point actually. Yeah. So you know the possibility of smashing in, getting in very quick is great. But yeah, I have to rethink. Quite like the army composition. I felt it would do very well. Today wasn't a particularly great test of its capability because luck sort of screwed it. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes in another game, and yeah, we'll see what happens next week, where hopefully Ollie won't win due to luck. Although he's allowed a little bit of luck, fine.
Not enough to win.
Yeah, not enough to absolutely wreck my entire army in one turn. So yeah, we'll see you again next week if I've forgiven him for being such a lucky bastard.